All right, let's dive into something that every project manager has to wrestle with eventually. We're talking about advanced project scheduling. This is where the real strategy kicks in, especially when you're deep in the weeds of a really complex project.
So, picture this. You're in charge of a massive project. Maybe you're building a skyscraper or launching a new app. Things are moving, progress is being made, but then you hit a snag. An activity is underway, but it's not finished, and it's starting to hold everything else up. What do you do? I mean, how do you handle that?
See, kicking off a project, that's one thing. The real test, the real complexity, comes right in the middle. When an activity is half done, how does your scheduling software figure out what's left to do? Does it stick to the original plan no matter what? Or does it try to find a new, maybe faster path? This is a huge fork in the road, and honestly, the path you choose can make or break your project.
Okay, so you're standing at this crossroads. As the project manager, you've basically got two main options for how to handle this. And each one has its own logic, its own set of risks, and of course, its own potential rewards. Let's break them down. First up, we've got what I like to call the logic path. This is the classic by-the-book approach. It's all about respecting the original plan and all those dependencies you carefully mapped out right at the start. The official term for this? It's called retained logic. So with retained logic, the rule is really simple, and it's absolute. The rest of a task, well, it just can't move forward until every single task that comes before it is 100% complete. The original project logic is basically locked in, no matter what's happening on the ground. A great way to think about it is like a relay race. It doesn't matter if you're all warmed up and ready to go. You absolutely cannot start your leg of the race until that baton is in your hand. The sequence is totally non-negotiable. This approach is super predictable, it's orderly, and it keeps things from getting chaotic. And that's absolutely critical in high-risk fields like construction or developing pharmaceuticals. But what if you need to be a little more aggressive? What if speed is just everything? Well, that brings us to our second option, the progress path. The technical name for this one is progress override, and believe me, it is a whole different ballgame. Progress override completely flips the script. It basically says, you know what, the original plan is out the window for a second. It just looks at the work that's left to do and schedules it to happen at the earliest possible moment, completely ignoring all the dependencies you set up in the first place. It literally breaks the logic to chase progress. Now, that sounds great, right? A faster schedule? Who wouldn't want that? But hold on. This is where the danger really creeps in. This kind of flexibility, it comes with a pretty significant risk, one that can totally derail your project if you're not paying close attention. You see, by just ignoring dependencies, progress override can create a schedule that looks fantastic on paper, but is completely impossible in the real world. This often leads to something called negative total float. And to put that simply, it means you're already behind schedule before you've even started the new plan. It is a massive red flag that your project is heading for some serious trouble. So you've got these two very different philosophies. One is all about order and the other is all about speed. How in the world do you choose? Well, let's put them side by side. Okay, on one hand, retained logic sticks to the plan, giving you a predictable, low-risk timeline you can rely on. On the other hand, progress override breaks the rules to gain speed. It gives you flexibility, but it brings in that very real risk of an unachievable schedule. It really is a clear choice between safety and ambition. So ultimately, your decision boils down to this. What does your project need most right now? Do you need a reliable, predictable schedule to keep risk as low as possible? Or do you need the raw flexibility to be aggressive and hit a crazy deadline, even if it means you're taking on a bit more risk? So the next time you're in the driver's seat of a big project and you hit that tricky midpoint, which path are you going to choose? Are you going to be the steady hand that sticks to the logic, or the trailblazer who forges a new path forward? The choice, and of course the consequences, are all yours.